has been a 10-yard truck full of proof that has been dumped on the world media that he and his son and family are guilty as hell about working with ISIS to steal and process the oil that comes out of Syria and Iraq that ISIS is running. There was a story today that the Russian Air Force hit a convoy of oil tankers carrying crude oil, stolen. There was 4 tanker trucks wide as it moved its way through Syria. The attack occurred in Syria, not in Turkey. A lot of people are wishing it would. Erdogan, or Erdogan, if you want to be proper, has come out with some real whoppers in the last week, claiming that Turkey and Russia really have a lot in common and there should be no problem because of the accidental downing of the Su-24. Crazy talk, nutty talk. Anyway, Gordy, welcome back. It's really wild out there.
It gets pretty much worse every day. And there are times I wish we could put audience on here with us live. I'm hoping there are too many of them out there to do that, and I suspect that's the case.
If we open the phones up, we would have tons of calls. Maybe next time you're on, we'll do that if you'd like.
Well, kind of things that this idea of Erdogan. It's so obvious. This is one of the things we touch on in this article. He's denying that this oil, thousands of trucks, and last week
four abreast, moving in these long, snaking, miles-long trains through the desert.
Beautiful roads, by the way, that they're on doing this. And they're covering both sides, running up into Turkey. And he's claiming they're not doing it. First of all, these lines of trucks are so big you could see them from the moon with the naked eye.
Yeah.
They're bigger than the Great Wall of China. The other point, they're on roads that only go to Turkey. It's more than that. There is nowhere else, if you're in the oil regions of Syria and Iraq and you have oil in trucks, there's nowhere else you can go but Turkey. You can't drive to Jordan. The roads don't go there. You can't drive into Saudi Arabia. You can't drive into Iran, and you certainly can't drive, down the middle of either the Red Sea or the Persian Gulf.
We get the picture.
Yeah, there is nowhere else to go. It's like, you leave your house, you head down the driveway, you get one direction. One direction has you driving through the garage, which is wrong, especially if there are more cars in it or kids are in the driveway.
Yeah.
The other one will take you into the road. Chances are 9 out of 10 times you're going to go that way, or you're going to be buying a new garage door every 2 weeks. Point being, the lies that we're telling to cover for Syria, and everyone in the government, and Obama is very much part of this. These lies are outlandish. They are inexorable. The oil is going to Turkey. Exactly, we know it's going to Turkey. The problem we have is that 80% of the smuggled oil stolen from Syria and Iraq is driven in those trucks, in those long trains, through Kurdish territory, where there are no ISIS fighters, no ISIS militants. They are driving on highways totally controlled by the Kurdish regional government or by the U.S.-backed YPG.
Well, they're paying a tariff to do it, obviously.
Or Erdogan's son, Balil, as we are told, and we were told this by Turkish journalists 2 weeks ago, is partner in an oil trucking company headquartered out of the city of Erbil, which is the capital of the Kurdish regional government inside Iraq, and that President Barzani, who I spent 3 days in the car with back in 2007, and we've talked about that before, but a strange little guy, is totally cognizant of this, that none of that oil would be leaving if the Kurds weren't getting a share and directly involved. And those head directly through Kurdish territory, controlled by the Kurdish regional government in Erbil under Barzani, and the U.S.-backed YPG. And there are U.S. Special Forces and Rangers embedded with every unit, including the units that are watching those trucks go across the border, are being escorted by units that have American advisors with them. In the region where these trucks are heading out of Iraq, if we were to take the road north of Erbil between the Kurdish Iraqi, and this is the Kurds, remember, let's explain something about the Kurds in Iraq. It's a semi-autonomous region within Iraq, within northern Iraq, where the Kurds receive money from the government for the oil, for a portion, a predetermined portion of the nation's oil sales, as do all other provinces. They have some autonomy to govern themselves, but they have no autonomy to have foreign relations with other countries. What Kurdistan, the semi-autonomous region, began doing a while ago is they invited the Turks to come into Iraq illegally, build an air base, and set up, they claim, bases to train the Kurds.
Right.
The point being is that the roads that the Turks use to enter Kurdistan are the exact same roads the trucks are using for taking the oil out. Tell me what's going on, Jeff. Why would Israel, and they claim that they have a $1.3 million program to send commandos illegally into Syria to save Al-Qaeda and ISIS fighters and bring them into Israel and to cure them of whatever diseases they have or bullet holes or whatever. Now, there are a couple of things we could do, we could say to mention about, if you're bringing these people in and they've gotten better, what do you do with them after they get better? Do you send them back?
Nah.
Now, when you send them back, so if you have an Al-Qaeda terrorist, do you give them a gun and do you have your commandos send them back in order to set up car bombs in Syria
not
or whatever?
Our friend, not our Israeli partners in democracy in the Middle East.
Or are you running this program because you have as many as 1,000 advisors already in Syria and Iraq that one of your generals, or he says he's a colonel now, but Ilan Shahak on October 18th was arrested in Iraq and is awaiting trial as an ISIS commander, and that's Ilan Shahak.
Where is he being held? Do we know, Gordon? Where is he being held?
Yes, we do. Is it okay if I don't tell you on the radio?